People often repeat the saying that your entire reality is lifted or lowered by the very words you allow to leave your mouth. Let me tell you plainly, there is only one true poverty in this world, and it is the poverty created by speech that contradicts the life you desire. Your lack has never been caused by closed doors, unstable markets, or the numbers on a bank statement. Lack has appeared because your tongue has rehearsed it into existence. You have declared that something is out of reach, and the world has echoed your decree. You have confessed that money is tight, and the flow of abundance constricted to match your confession. You have murmured that nothing ever turns in your favor, and spiritual law has agreed with your own proclamation. Now let me challenge you, what if your real opposition has never been your job, your bills, or the economy you live in? What if the barrier has been the language you release the moment you wake? What if the shortage is not in your finances, but in your vocabulary? I speak this with authority. Complaining is the costliest habit a person can carry. One small phrase of fear, one sigh soaked in doubt, one casual statement of insufficiency invites an entire atmosphere of limitation to attach itself to you. Every expression you utter is a command to unseen forces. Every sentence takes shape long before you see its physical form. You build your world with your voice. You construct constantly, whether consciously or not. The question is, are you shaping a realm of overflow or a structure of scarcity? Many people unknowingly assemble their lives with materials made of anxiety and cement made of fear, then cry when the outcome reflects the blueprint they themselves designed. I recall a woman once telling me, "I've spoken all the affirmations I can find, but nothing in my life looks different." I asked her a simple question. "What do you say when no one else is around?" She hesitated, then admitted she still muttered that she didn't know how she would survive. I told her the truth, that single confession canceled the power of every positive word she had spoken. You cannot declare abundance briefly, and then allow the rest of your day to be filled with defeat. Spiritual law does not reward occasional performance, it responds to consistent tone. So hear me clearly. If you discipline your mouth, you discipline your destiny. If you desire a life without limits, you must remove every limiting phrase from your speech. If you long for increase, you must eliminate every sentence that agrees with lack. Scripture teaches that life and death are controlled by the tongue, and people experience the harvest of the words they cherish. Your harvest has not betrayed you. Your speech has. You may have come from a family that worried constantly. You may have grown up surrounded by joking comments about being broke or stressed about money. But you are not chained to that pattern. You can reshape your language. You can purify what comes out of your mouth. You can wake up the creative power inside you, and let it speak only increase, only overflow, only divine supply. You are not controlled by the world outside you. You are controlled by the sound you release. Your sentences, even the ones spoken in irritation or weakness, are constructing the future you will walk into. So the question is never, how will provision show up? The real question is, what am I declaring right now? Quiet every voice of doubt. Let bills and burdens kneel before your spoken authority. You are about to retrain the greatest instrument God placed within you, your tongue. Align it with endless supply. Align it with divine flow. Speak with clarity, and everything around you will shift. Let the same mouth that once brought struggle now summon blessing. Let the tongue that restricted you now unlock your freedom. Let the next phrase you release bring an end to every remaining trace of lack. Your tongue is not merely muscle and flesh, it is spiritual force in motion. It is a key, a lever, a steering mechanism that directs your entire life. Scripture says the tongue is small, yet capable of enormous impact. With it we honor God, and with it we harm ourselves. The most damaging curse is not spoken toward others, but toward one's own supply. The book of James compares the tongue to the rudder of a great ship. Tiny, but powerful enough to redirect the entire vessel. That ship is your life, and your tongue determines its direction each day. Where is it steering you? Into plenty or into drought? Toward divine abundance or into unnecessary hardship? Your tongue is not ornamental, it is generative. What you repeatedly say becomes what you eventually witness. You can pray, fast, tithe, grind, and hustle, but if your speech contradicts your desire, the results will crumble under the weight of your own words. Creation itself began with sound. Let there be light. And light appeared. God did not negotiate, explain, or justify. He declared and creation responded. So why do you imagine that you, crafted in God's image, can speak struggle, defeat, and impossibility, yet still expect abundance to appear? Every time you whisper that you cannot afford something, you honor limitation. Every time you claim to be broke, you announce captivity. Every time you insist that making money is difficult, you carve that hardship into the laws governing your life. The law of the tongue is impartial. It obeys whoever speaks. I have watched gifted men remain trapped in lack because their speech was careless. I have witnessed gentle, ordinary women walk into tremendous blessing simply because their speech was aligned with truth. The issue is not whether you qualify for it. The issue is whether your mouth has agreed with it. Words are seeds and none of them vanish. They enter the unseen realm and gravitate toward form. Seeds produce after their own nature. Words of struggle give birth to more struggle. Words of abundance give birth to abundance. Words of insufficiency create an atmosphere of insufficiency. Words of unlimited supply generate a field of attraction that magnetizes provision. No sentence is neutral. Every phrase carries spiritual charge. It is either building authority or reinforcing defeat. This is why I remind you, your voice is the tool that shapes your wealth. Train it to speak abundance. Declare these with me. My words carry wealth. My mouth draws divine provision. I refuse to partner with lack even in jest. Every sentence I release blesses my life. Can you feel the internal shift? Law does not answer empty repetition. It answers consistent tone. Speak as the one who already carries heavenly authority. Speak as the rightful heir. Speak knowing God hears and multiplies what you say. Do not give away your inheritance through one careless expression. Guard your speech as you would guard treasure, for your words are the first form of wealth. The moment your mouth aligns with divine truth, the physical realm must adjust. The true battle is not in income, wages, gold, markets, or national conditions. The true battle is in the sound you produce. Every shift in supply begins with a phrase. Every breakthrough begins with spoken truth. Every downfall begins with an unguarded tongue. People do not accidentally fall into lack. They speak their way into it. Before money leaves your hands, it leaves your vocabulary. The adversary does not snatch your supply violently. He tempts you into speaking it away. He waits for you to sigh in frustration, to make a joke about struggle, to mutter a phrase of fear. The moment you speak it, he agrees and accelerates it. He does not need your labor, he needs your agreement. An agreement is formed fastest through careless speech. Think of the phrases you grew up hearing. Money is scarce. We aren't the type of people who get ahead. Don't expect too much. That's for wealthy folks. Those weren't harmless comments, they were verbal implants placed in the mind. They shaped how you perceived money and shaped what you believed was possible. Without realizing it, you repeated them, rehearsed them, and built your life around them. But now the moment has come to confront the lie, not emotionally, but verbally. Every time you open your mouth, you either reinforce the lie or dismantle it. If you refuse to speak against it, the lie will remain ruler. The battlefield is not external, it sits on your tongue. Fearful thoughts may rise, but you must not allow them to form into speech. You must intercept them and announce, I reject every form of lack. My mouth refuses fear. I refuse to speak against my own prosperity. Because what you do not renounce verbally, you allow silently. Some of you are fighting for your supply through stress and exhaustion, while still speaking words of limitation. And because your speech contradicts your desire, the supply delays. Not from punishment, but from principle. You cannot verbally oppose the blessing you want. You must only speak what you intend to multiply. Do not wage this battle in silence. Declare truth. Declare supply. Declare abundance with discipline. When your mouth is trained, the warfare dissolves. Abundance stops being something you chase and becomes something you declare into place. Prepare yourself. You are entering the practice of shaping your speech. To train the tongue is not about forcing silence. It is about replacing old rhythms with divine ones. Just as musicians train their bodies, you must train your speech with intention. Begin like this. First, identify and eliminate every phrase that dishonors God's supply. Write down the statements you fall into during stress. Saying you're broke, saying you can't afford anything, saying money leaves too quickly, saying you don't know how the bills will be paid. These are not facts, they are vows that bind you. Reject them. Say aloud, I dissolve every word spoken against my prosperity. I release every sentence rooted in fear. My mouth no longer collaborates with lack. The cleansing begins through substitution, not silence. Second, choose 3 declarations of abundance and repeat them morning, midday, and evening. The subconscious changes through rhythm, not force. Select 3 sentences that resonate with truth. For example, I walk in divine overflow. Every need is answered before I speak it. Unexpected increase arrives easily. Speak them before picking up your phone, again in the middle of the day, and again before night. You are crafting a new language. A language where supply responds to conviction, not worry. Third, refuse to participate in conversations rooted in lack. There will be times where people invite you into shared struggle, shared complaining, shared fear. They will say everyone is going through hard times. They will joke about being poor or defeated. They will sigh about the economy. When this happens, don't join in. Don't echo their words. Bless them silently, but stand firm in truth. Respond inwardly with law rather than fear. You can declare, I rely on heaven's endless provision. Or you may choose silence, but do not ever agree with lack just to make someone comfortable. Your mouth is not a mood indicator. It is an instrument of creation. Next, speak directly to your wallet and your accounts. Do not shrink from them. Do not fear them. Address them with authority. Open your wallet, notice each slot, and fold the cards, the currency, every empty corner, and say, you stay full. You stay abundant. You carry divine wealth. Where emptiness lives, law now reigns. Log into your bank account even if the figures unsettle you, and proclaim, this is not the end. This is only the surface. I command increase upon you. By spiritual decree, this account multiplies. Money does not flee from truth. It is drawn to spoken command. As the day closes, finish with words of provision. Right before sleep, when consciousness softens and the deeper mind listens without argument, affirm, God's supply is endless. While I rest, my provision is being arranged. I rise into greater wealth because I speak greater truth. Let these be the frequencies that settle into your body. You will rise aligned. You will carry a new posture. You will speak with steady confidence, and money will recognize the one who talks like an inheritor of divine abundance. You are not powerless. You are not late. You simply have not been trained until now. Your tongue, which once spoke against your increase, is being turned into a channel of sacred release. Keep going. Your retraining has begun. Poverty begins as a dialect, long before it shows up as a circumstance. For many, it has become a native language. You absorbed it from family. You repeated it in classrooms. You strengthened it in everyday chatter. And now, often without noticing, you fluently speak limitation. But hear me clearly, the habit of speaking lack must be torn down, or wealth will hesitate at your door. Abundance waits for invitation. It responds to honor. It follows the voice of confidence rooted in spiritual law. But when it hears nervous jokes, cynical remarks, or worry disguised as realism, it withdraws. Not as punishment, but by principle. What you ridicule, you restrict. What you repeat, you resurrect. The most damaging lines are not the dramatic ones. They are the quiet, defeated murmurs. I'll never be wealthy, but that's fine. Money isn't my strength. That's beyond what I can earn. Something always blocks my breakthrough. These sound humble or honest, but they carve limitation into your inner architecture. And the law hears everything. To uproot this pattern, you must notice it first. Pay attention to what leaves your mouth when you're relaxed and unguarded. Track each phrase that leans toward fear, annoyance, or smallness. Then stop it, immediately and aloud. If you hear yourself beginning to say, I can't buy that, cut it off with, All that is mine by divine authority reaches me now. If you slip into, I never have enough, replace it with, God is my immediate and everlasting supply. Do not allow the old sentence to finish. Do not let it complete its intention. Slice it with truth. Plant scripture where scarcity once grew. Trade the groove of limitation for the groove of spiritual dominion. Your words are not your captor. You are their keeper. Like a gardener removing intrusive weeds, you must now tear out every tendril of fear, every root of resignation, every vine of verbal defeat. The old habit might try to climb back. It may rise to your lips in familiar patterns. But every time you intercept it, you gain spiritual muscle. Every replacement expands your capacity. Every refusal honors the abundance you serve. You are not here merely to talk about your circumstances. You are here to shape them. Speak not the situation you see. Speak what God has spoken over you. Declare this, I am releasing the language of poverty. I only voice what I desire to multiply. My speech no longer echoes fear, it summons provision. And so it is. A woman once approached me exhausted. Her posture carried the weight of 2 years of effort without reward. A business full of potential but starved of profit. She told me,